Hey guys, Ultra Maximus official merchandise is now available on my Spring store. Help support the channel and shop by clicking the link below. Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another Let's Talk About Comic Books, and today I got 3 books I picked up from my local comic carnival here in Indianapolis on Keystone Avenue, and the 3 books are Star Trek 500, an IDW publication. It's a one-shot book with it's an anthology with multiple stories in it. Also picked up the Venom War Zombiotes, Zombiotes, kind of Marvel zombies with the Venom symbiotes. And I actually got this at Atomic City up in Fishers, another little comic book store here in Indianapolis. Spider-Man Reign #2, issue #1. I was super excited to see this. I didn't know this was coming out, so that was a very cool. So let's actually start with this. I love this cover, a very nice homage to Spawn. Very cool. So love the first Spider-Man Reign, one of my favorite comic books out there, and I highly recommend that book to everybody if they're getting into comics. The book basically opens with Kingpin escaping after the destruction of the skyscraper in the first one, and he essentially comes out and becomes the big bad of the second book here, and he is enormous, like a big gelatinous bug thing. It's very weird, very interesting. And then Spider-Man, Peter Parker, has been plugged into basically virtual reality, and he's living with Mary Jane, and essentially I think it's the black, here it is, he's all Matrix style inside the machine, and I think they call her Kitty Cat. I think she's Black Cat's daughter or granddaughter, I don't know. Where is she at? Let's get a good shot of her. You get Spider-Man swinging around in his giant beard and his whitey-tighties. Where's she at? Find a good shot of her. She is, they don't really have a lot of good shots. There we go. Of her. She is essentially the new age Black Cat, I think, essentially. And the weird thing about this, so like the world is ending, they've got a shield around New York because like everything's collapsed, and everybody's protesting now, all that kind of garbage, and it's like the last oasis of humanity. And so they've got a force field protecting New York because the rest of the planet's apocalyptic, and Kingpin wants to upload everybody into basically the internet and leave the world behind, which is interesting. And then Old Man Spider-Man runs into the Green Goblin down in the sewers, who has a time machine. This is where it gets really weird, and they go back in time to like modern Marvel era, where they're going to try to stop everything. And then at the end of the book, the Kingpin basically goes up to Miles Morales, who is old and crotchety, and he's going to send him back in time to stop Spider-Man from stopping the future. So very weird, very interesting, very different take from the first book. I'm interested to see where this goes. I just see more of grumpy old Miles Morales Spider-Man, so that should be pretty cool. But yeah, definitely something to pick up, I think. If you liked that first Spider-Man Reign book, it is different with the same characters in that same universe, so definitely very cool. So sticking with the Marvel, so we got the Zombiotes, which is kind of Marvel zombies with the symbiotes. It's part of the Venom War, and essentially New York's getting overrun by symbiote zombies. So they're biting and eating humans, turning them into zombies. And essentially this issue is the She-Hulk and, is it Hellcat? Is that her name? Where they're fighting the zombies off, and she gets gored up by the zombies, and then we get introduced to what's left of the current Sinister Six, which is like Shocker and Speed Demon and Overdrive, I think the guy's name, and they go and they're looking for something that's in the Roxxon armored truck that we saw at the beginning. Then we get Speed Demon gets hit by the zombie, all that good stuff, and then yeah, he's a zombie now. Arrgh. And then they run into the She-Hulk, and so they get paired up at the end of it, and now they've got, what was it, Hellcat and the other zombie things. So this is an interesting book. I love Marvel Zombies, but there's been so many iterations of it, so this is kind of a different take on that. It's its own thing, but it's got the same vibes. If you're into Marvel Zombies, you like Venom, this might be something you're after. Writing in this has been pretty good. Same with the Spider-Man Reign. I will say there's no woke garbage, none of that weird stuff you see in a lot of modern comics, so I do appreciate that. And the last book here is the Star Trek 500 anthology book. So this is IDW's anniversary book, 25 years of IDW, and I think the last one they did was 400. So I guess I'm presuming the 500 is because there's been 500 Star Trek books that have been printed. I don't know if just by IDW Publishing or just in general, but yeah, so this is an anthology book, and most of them are pretty good. I will say the first story I really thought was interesting. It's an original series story. It's basically told from the point of view of one of the Tribbles that Kirk picks up, and it's a female, I guess, and it falls in love with Kirk, and it's all from the Tribbles' point of view. We even get the Deep Space Nine jump in, which is very cool. But the problem with this story is the way it's written. It's like got all these kind of handwritten cursive bubbles, and they're very small and very difficult to read, especially for my old eyes. And yeah, that's, if they would have just printed it, it would have been way better. And then yeah, I like how it's the Tribble is pining over Kirk, and then kind of thinks about all his other loves out there, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so that was an interesting story. Then we get a story that's in Strange New Worlds, which it's an okay show. It's better than I thought it would have been, but yeah, it's not my favorite. And it kind of goes on with that episode where the Khan relative goes back in time with Kirk, and she's talking to his brother. Yeah, okay. And then we've got the worst one in here is the Star Trek Discovery story, which Discovery is garbage. It is not Star Trek. This story is absolute crap. I don't like it at all. And then we've got a really weird Deep Space Nine one on the Holosuite. They're playing baseball again, but they've got dogs to retrieve the balls. I guess it's a very short little story. It's literally just a couple pages long. So yeah, it's very weird. They kind of threw that in there. And then we get a Lower Decks story, which is actually really good. It's really fun. I like this one. Basically, the engineer dude builds a Soong-type android, and he wants to sell the Cerritos, right? So yeah, this is actually a pretty fun story. It's very comical. If you like Lower Decks, you're gonna like this one. I do like Lower Decks. I think it's one of the better modern Star Trek shows. And then we get another interesting one. I really like this one too. This is a Q story with Q Jr., and he's basically breaking the fourth wall and realizing that they are in a comic book, and he's trying to reach us, the readers, and Q is like, no, you can't do that. There's some things we just can't do, and he about wipes himself out of existence. It's a really cool idea, really cool story. Definitely like that one. And then the final story is with Lore and Data, and they are rewriting the universe. It's connected to another story, I guess, where Lore's like, hey, Data, create the universe this way. I want to rule it like this. He makes a perfect universe, that never has any issues or whatnot and all that jazz, realizes it's boring and he wants Data to redo it and make it different and their own choosing, all kinds of that stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. I definitely find it interesting, very cool, and Lord just, he gets what he wants and just can't figure it out, and Data's just like, Lord, help me. Let's do this. Let's just get it done and over with. So yeah, definitely interesting. There's some hits and misses in there. I like some of the other alternate covers were kind of cool in here. But yeah, and then there's a little write-up from the authors in the back, or author in the back. Yeah, here's another pretty cool cover art. I like that. So yeah, this is a pretty decent book. If you're a Star Trek fan, you might like it. I really like this one, the Lower Decks one with Q. Really cool. He's got these action figures, and he's got a spin rack with actual IDW Star Trek comic covers, which is very cool. And it's got the Halloween one from last year's in there, which I really liked that. I like the Halloween, so yeah, very, very cool. And then of course we get some other covers in the back. So if you're a Star Trek fan, you might want to pick this one up. I did like about at least 3/4 of the stories in it. I enjoyed. The Discovery one was probably the worst. The Tribble one I wish was a little bit better as far as the print goes, so it was easier to read. But yeah, the Zombiotes was not too terribly bad. And of the three, I would say Spider-Man Reign 2 #1 is my pick of the three. So there it is, this week's comic book pull. At least the three I've read so far. I've got a bunch of other ones I need to sit down and read. What have you guys been reading lately? Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your recommendations and what you've been picking up off the comic book shelves. Make sure to like and subscribe. Remember, for every 1,000 subscribers, I'll give you, the fans, a chance to win a free action figure. If you want to help the channel, make sure to visit my merchandise store. It's listed below. You can pick up official Ultra Maximus merchandise. It really does help the channel, and there's some pretty cool stuff I've got out there with parodies on Transformers, Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Star Trek, Star Wars. Lots of good stuff. Check it out, and as always, look for more videos in the future. Hey guys, I want to give a shout out to my top subscribers and to my newest subscribers. Thank you all so much for helping grow the channel. Remember, for every 1,000 subscribers, I'll give you, the fans, a chance to win a free action figure. If you don't see your name and want to be included, like this video, add a comment down below telling me to add you, and of course, subscribe. Thanks again, and look for more videos in the future. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Be sure to click all the things, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell for new videos, and follow me on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below.